I can still recall how the light came through the blinds that morning, December 4th. There were thin gold streaks. I had one hand on the edge of my laptop and was drinking lukewarm coffee as I cut across the wooden floor, wondering if I had already. Booked a few tree delivery services. Maybe this year would finally be the year I got into the Christmas mood early. I had even thought about purchasing tickets to a light show downtown when my phone suddenly rang. A single message from Harper. "Hey, sweetie, just letting you know this year's Christmas celebration is too costly for my family. I just stared. No call, no voice message, not even an emoji." I kept gazing at the computer screen for a few seconds, wondering if there would be more. A follow-up. Something to ease the abruptness. But for a brief while, only 3 dots appeared. Then they disappeared too, as... If she considered it and decided I wasn't worth the effort to explain it, I typed back, "Okay." No follow-up, no questions. I didn't want to come across as the suspicious man who overreacts to a logistical update, but her family secretly canceling Christmas? These were the same folks who designed custom t-shirts for the 4th of July. Who? Through a Halloween lunch, her mother once sent out engraved invites for a backyard cookout, but when it was too costly, we sent our part in immediately. Just last month, Harper reminded me, "Everyone contributes. Fair's fair." So I sent the money to the joint family fund. I always did, without blinking. Whether it was for her niece's school supply drive, last-minute brunch reservations, or roof repairs on her mom's apartment, Harper asked, and I gave. I stayed silent. Got up, washed my mug, and tried to ignore the discomfort, telling myself maybe things were tight, rising utility costs, inflation, job trouble. I understood. If they couldn't swing the party, they couldn't swing it. Maybe the math just didn't work this year. That night I watched Harper move around the apartment. There was this lightness in her step. That same preoccupied enthusiasm she always had when something was simmering. She'd browse her phone and grin at it. We weren't the kind to pry, so I didn't ask who she was texting. If I happened to walk by, I kept walking. We got into bed, I whispered. At least I wasn't... Your mom doing okay? She's disappointed she had to cancel, Harper said, but we'll still see her this year. I nodded. She leaned in, kissed my cheek. I turned out the light, laid back, staring at the ceiling, counting the fan's blades spin around, and I realized what upset me wasn't the party being canceled. It was the way it was canceled. Single sentence, a formality, as if I didn't even deserve an explanation. I waited, hoping she'd bring it up again, offer clarity. Nothing. She seemed lighter, more at ease. No last-minute scrambling. No discussions about who would bring what gifts for the nieces and nephews. She didn't even mention the tree. So I didn't, either. On December 7th, I walked by the store's seasonal section, past the artificial trees lined up like mannequins. Didn't stop. At the register, I almost grabbed the peppermint-scented candle she loved, but stopped myself. We weren't decorating. On December 10th, the building's holiday lights went up. A couple across the hall decorated their door. I heard bells jingling as someone passed, with wrapped gifts. Our place stayed quiet. Empty. On December 13th, I asked her if she wanted to do anything. Just the two of us. A simple dinner. Maybe a drive to see lights? She shrugged. We'll see. Crazy was her go-to phrase when she didn't want to be pressed. By December 15th, she began leaving earlier, said she was running errands, helping her mom with last-minute organizing. I offered to drop something off for Aunt Camille. Camille looked surprised, said no. You'd hate it. It's just dull things. I nodded, didn't fight. She kissed my forehead on the way out. I waited. Sat on the couch with a book. Tried not to look at the phone next to me. Eventually, I'd make soup or a sandwich. Go to bed alone. By December 20th, I realized we hadn't. bought a single gift. Not for each other. Not for anyone. She hadn't even mentioned it. It was like Christmas had been silently erased from our shared calendar. On the morning of December 23rd, I saw her bag in the hallway. "You going somewhere?" I asked. She looked up from tying her boots. "Yeah, Mom's having a hard time. Gonna spend the night. Maybe Christmas Eve, too." "Okay," I said, as if that's all I knew how to say anymore. She waved her fingers, closed the door behind her. I stood in the silence. No tree, no lights, no cinnamon. That night, I made soup. Die Hard was on the TV, just me, and the hum of the fridge. I acted like I was enough, like this wasn't the first time Christmas felt like I was a cast member in someone else's story. I checked my phone once, then again. No messages, no check-ins. There's a pain in accepting something that doesn't feel right and calling it grace. But something about this year didn't feel right. Christmas Eve arrived. Long, slow, and quiet. No music, no cinnamon rolls. Harper had left before dawn. I could feel it. Her side of the bed was cold. No note, no text. I'd heard the soft click of the door hours earlier and told myself it was a dream. Normally, we'd be elbow deep. In flower by now, Bixby barking, Harper dancing to Mariah Carey, but now, just a can of chicken and wild rice soup. I stood in the kitchen, eating straight from the pot, didn't even pour it into a bowl. Turned the TV on again. If it was going to be a lonely Christmas, I might as well make it dramatic. By midday, I'd gone through every app on my phone. Twice. Friends were posting matching pajamas, glittering trees, still photos with invisible laughter. I clicked Harper's page. Nothing. Just an old brunch post from 2 weeks ago. Maybe she was relaxing. Maybe her family had finally given her a break. After feeding Bixby, I took him for a walk. He was wearing the red hoodie Harper had to buy last year, the one that said, "Festive AF." He trotted beside me, clueless. I would have laughed. If I wasn't so numb. The streets were peaceful, lights shimmered from windows. Neighbors passed by with bags full of pie and ham, waved. I waved back, 100 tiny moments of connection, and none of them real. That evening, I had another cup of soup. Watched another movie. Bixby curled beside me, and I still wasn't sure what I was waiting for.